Okay, what I need to do is simplify it for you. So this number 1, we have AgClO3. That's silver chlorate. It's decomposing into silver chloride, plus we will get oxygen gas. So this is one way to make oxygen gas. I could get some silver chloride in the back, put it in a test tube, heat it up. When I heat it up, it's going to make oxygen. It's kind of like the one we did that was like a chlorate. I think it was potassium chlorate. I heated it up and I put the gummy bear in there.
Yeah.
It's the same type of stuff.
Red apple.
Yep. It's the same type of stuff. So if we want to make sure our atoms equal on left and right, what we're going to do is we're going to draw our list out each element that's on each side, which will be the same on both sides. So if I have A, G, C, L, and O in that order, on this side I'm going to have A, G, C, L, and O in that order. I want the same order so that when I compare straight across. Next thing I do is I'm going to count how many of each atom that I have. So on this side I have 1, 1, 3. And on the right side I have 1, 1, 2. Now everybody can kind of see which one needs to be balanced, right? Which one? Oxygen. We can automatically right away. Silver, same. Chlorine, same. Oxygen is not the same. Anytime we have a 3 and a 2, we want to get both counts to what number? 6. So I want to get this to be 6. The only way I can get this to be 6 is if I put a 2 in front of the AgClO3, because that's my multiplier. So I'm going to multiply O by 2, chlorine by 2, and silver by 2. Everything on that side has to be multiplied by 2. So I get 2 silvers, 2 chlorines, and I have 6 oxygens. Okay, you're going like, man, now AgCl is not balanced. What are you doing? You're making it worse. Well, I'm just sticking with oxygen. I'm not worried about the AgCl. So on this side, what do I need to do with the oxygen to get it to be 6 on the right side? Got to put a 3 in front of O2. 6. So now oxygens are balanced. The only thing that's not balanced is Ag and Cl. So what do I need to do on the right side to get those two to balance with the silver and chlorine on the left side? Times it by 2. Now everything balances. So it's 2, 2, 3. Everything balances. Any questions on that? So all we're doing is we're multiplying. Now sometimes you may have to go back and multiply it again, because you have to do a change again, because what change you had made wasn't the correct change. You have to go back and rechange it. So that might happen on the next one. I don't know. Okay, so let's go to number 2, and we'll do that one. So it's HF plus SiO2 gives you sulfur tetrafluoride plus water. And then again, we'll just put each element, H, F, S, I, O. And now I'm going to go in the same order. H, F, S, I, and O. So then go ahead and do your counts. Now later on, some of you might skip even this step and balance it without, because you can actually see in your head kind of how things are going to work out. And you don't have to do this accounting system. So this is one where if you pick the wrong one, you may have to go back and change it. So which one do you think would probably be a good one to start with that may not cause us problems of changing later on? Anybody have an idea? Yeah? Hydrogen? Okay, on this left side we have 1, and over here we have 2. So what do we need to put in front of this? A 2. Now, I'm going to not do that right now because I'll explain why. If I put a 2 here, then that makes 2 hydrogens and 2 fluorines. But we need 4 fluorines. So maybe we want to go to fluorine first, because then that eliminates me having to change it to a different number. So let's look at fluorine first. So to get fluorine to balance out, what needs to go in front of here? 4. So we put a 4. That multiplies your hydrogen by 4 and your fluorine by 4. Where would you go next? Could we go to hydrogen now? So go to hydrogen. There's 2 hydrogens here. There's 4 over here. So what do I need to do in front of H2O? Put a what? 2. That makes 2 times 2 is 4 hydrogens. And it gives us 2 oxygens because oxygen's in there as well. Is everything balanced? Yeah. It's 4, 1, 1, 2. Balanced. Now, what I need for you to do on number 4 to simplify it, because that one's really hard. We'll do one like that in the future. But I want you to change the 6 behind the C to a 5, and change the H to 12. So it should be C5H12, and that'll simplify it a little bit. Okay, so we're going to move on. And we will not do 3, 4, or 5. I'll leave those up to you to practice kind of this way. And then we're going to look at number 6. It's a little bit different style we want to do with number 6. So here's number 6. Do not count the individual elements on this one, and I'll explain why. Okay, here's what I'm going to tell you. We're going to introduce what's called a polyatomic ion, and we're not going to split these polyatomic ions up. You have a list that was on page 70 that has a list of monoatomic ions and polyatomic ions. Okay? And you want to have that out to look at. That's fine. You don't need it, but if it's something that you think could help you understand this concept about polyatomic ion, that's what we're going to do. Okay? So, polyatomic ion is this combination of 2 or more elements that are charged. So can you pick out where we have 2 or more elements hooked together and they're the same on both sides? Which one is it that is a polyatomic ion? Is Ba a polyatomic ion? No, because it's just barium. How about, is Cl, is that a polyatomic ion? No. How about Na? No. How about SO4? All right, SO4 is a polyatomic ion. So when we list these out, I'm listing polyatomic ions as well. Only if they occur on the same side. See, this SO4 occurs here, and the SO4 occurs there. Now, if they don't occur on both sides, then I can't do that anymore. So I'm going to write BaCl, Na, SO4. BaCl, Na, SO4. Go ahead and count those. Go ahead and write in your counts. Okay, so what number do we have to change in which to balance out chlorines and sodiums? Where do we put a number to balance those two out? 2 in front of what? NaCl. We're done. Alright, the next one's a little tougher. That's the last one we're going to do together. So the next one, that's balanced 1, 1, 2, 1. The next one that we're going to do is a little bit tougher to recognize, so we'll do that one. So, can anybody tell me which polyatomic ions we have on the left side? Which ones are they? NO3 is one. What's the other one? OH. So we're going to list them out. Al, NO3, Na, and OH. Do it in that same order. And then go through and count those. So the 3 has to stay with NO. A lot of you will just write the NO, but the NO3 is what makes that nitrate, and the OH is what makes it hydroxide. So 1, 3, 1, 1 in that order. On the other side it goes 1, 1, 1, 3. So go ahead and balance it out, and then I'll see if you're right. And you always want to just do one element or polyatomic ion at a time. You don't want to, once you get one done, and if it affects another one, then you'll have to show those effects to that other one on that side, and then continue working on multiplying with the coefficients out in front, and making sure you get them to equal out on both sides. The polyatomic ions a lot of times are an easy way to start. A lot of people want to pick individual elements. I like picking the polyatomic ions because I think that I'm getting 2 at once. I'm getting nitrogen and oxygen and nitrate at once. I'm getting that figured out at once. If you would have did this without using the polyatomic ions, look at how many places oxygen is at. Oxygen's here. There's 9. And 1 is 10. There's 3. And 3 is 6. Okay, I got 6 and 10. And when it's just a nightmare. I don't think I could balance it. I don't even think I could balance it if I did not separate them into their individual ones. So I'm going to do nitrate first. I'm going to put a 3 in front of NaNO3. That gives me my nitrates to equal. And my sodiums become 3. And then on the left side, I can look at OH and Na, and I need 3 of those on this side. So I put a 3 here, and then that balances out my sodium and my hydroxide. I'm done. It's balanced. Okay? So what I'm going to ask you to do, and you'll get this done today, is to go ahead and do 3 through 5, and then 8 through 11. 3 through 5, 8 through 11. I'll come around. If you want me to check for right answers and that type of thing, I can do that.